Damian Priest, Bad Bunny in the San Juan street fight. So it was noted that the referee, Eddie Orango, also from Puerto Rico, that was the official for this match as well. So you had that. And Priest comes out and they note he is wearing the same gear he wore at WrestleMania 37 when he teamed with Bad Bunny. And then when Bad Bunny's music plays, dude, this was one of the loudest pops. And this place went insane for this guy. Like, this was like Austin at his peak coming out, and they're all singing his song. Like, this dude was a megastar.
Huge. I mean, listen, like so we have Drake in Toronto, and I'm just picturing Drake coming out and having a wrestling match, which is hard to think. But if Drake came out at Forbidden Door and came out to like like running in the six with my woes, man, like this, we'd erupt. Even if you hated Drake, I think you'd join in. I mean, this is like how much this guy means to this area, this country on such a national level, and he's coming out. Like, there are a few instances where you can come out to an entrance theme song, and so I believe this was his song Chumbea, which is one of his older songs, the one with Ric Flair in the video. But everybody in this building seemingly knew the words to the song, and it was just
this was incredible. Awesome this entrance was just incredible, and they did not let up for 25 minutes that this match went. And so right away, Bad Bunny hits him with a Michinoku driver. And when he hit it later, Graves pointed out, he's trying to hit the broken arrow of Damian Priest. And Priest is pissed. And we've got also the shopping cart as Bad Bunny is going back to the old hardcore division with Raven with the shopping cart of weapons. And he just,
a must for any street fight. I mean, you see all those shopping carts with the trash can lids and kendo sticks in there.
They got their use out of all of these weapons. So Bunny attacks him with a kendo stick and hits a tornado DDT and then a high cross to the floor, which generates Michael Cole's call of the night. Bunnies can fly. And then Bad Bunny hits him with trash can lids. And this is where he hits the broken arrow. And Priest rolls to the floor and he touches his face and he sees blood on his hand. It's like the faintest amount of blood. And he stares a hole through Bad Bunny. And Priest gets the kendo stick. They fight into the crowd. And I would say first major spot of the match is getting on top of the equipment case, and it leads to a broken arrow by Priest off the equipment case through a series of tables on the floor. And this leads Adam Pearce and other officials to come out. It's as though they're, oh my God, he killed the celebrity. That's sort of the concern here.
Among the officials was Dubai, All Wheels Wrestling fame.
Dubai was very concerned here, getting into the face of Damian
Sean
Priest.
Daivari himself, yes.
That's right. And we had Schwag D on Rampage last night.
Really, the pioneers. All Wheels Wrestling was,
yeah. And we, honestly, with Carlito, imagine if he had brought back Jesus, aka Human Cyclone.
There you go.
We could have had the All Wheels Wrestling reunion tonight.
I think we're one of 15 people who have actually seen All Wheels Wrestling and know what it is. So
God, and you did have RPM as well. We could have had them all. Like Aaron Aguilera, if ever he made sense, it would have been coming out with Carlito here.
So many people speak about ECW originals and they really need an All Wheels Wrestling one night stand, I think.
Okay, what would they have? They would have a what was the match called? What was their Ultimate X match? The Air Raid match or the
Big Air match.
Back to this match. So Bad Bunny is alive, and Bunny comes back, and he starts attacking Damian Priest's leg with the kendo stick and snaps the knee in the corner, and Damian Priest is screaming. He's hurt. Bunny doesn't care, wraps it around the post, uses a chain, uses a chair. Priest is just begging off and pleading, and then lures in Bad Bunny for an up kick, and Damian Priest is hopping on one leg, selling this injury. When he's hit with a low blow by Bad Bunny, this leads to Dominic and Balor running down, and everyone knows what's coming next. Ray comes out for the huge pop, and dude, Ray threw some phantom punches here, one that was off Dominic, but then this punch to Balor, you could have flown an airplane in between this. The drone could have fit between the punch and Finn Balor here.
I think the rule in wrestling is when you have a really hot crowd that can yell "foie." By the way, great analysis of the word "foie" in our chat room. So thank you everybody for explaining what it means. If you can add "foie" to Phantom Punch, it actually hurts. So I think it's fine.
Well, this crowd went foie when Carlito's music plays and out he comes.
Amazing.
I mean, my God, this guy is going for Billy Gunn at 59, and he comes out, the young up and comer Carlito Colon, and he lays out the Judgment Day, and he's got the LWO shirt on too, and hits a backstabber, gets the apple, bites it. Dominic attacks him from behind. Ray hits the 619, and this whole time Carlito's got the apple in his mouth and spits it onto Dominic, and this place goes insane for the apple spot. This was like a great cameo idea to have Carlito.
I mean, I went insane, honestly. Like, again, like you had every, I guess, maybe known, or I should say well-remembered representative of Puerto Rico as a part of this Puerto Rican WWE show. They made no teases whatsoever prior that we would see Savio, we would see Carlito here. And the fact that they gave such big spots for these two guys that, are some of the two of the few that really flew the Puerto Rico flag internationally for so many years before the WWE, did a show like this. The fact that they had such significant roles on this particular show was incredibly heartwarming, just even from a long-time professional wrestling fan standpoint.
Do you think they used Chat GPT? Who are the wrestlers from Puerto Rico?
What? You don't think they knew themselves? What are you talking about?
They might have.
We didn't see Primo and Epico, okay? Like that tells you that maybe there's a bar for like maybe how successful you are.
Well, Carlito got a giant pop here, and then as the LWO or Balor and Dominic are backing up the ramp or on the aisle, Savio Vega comes out and the place goes insane for him. And he too is wearing an LWO shirt. And then everyone attacks Balor and Dominic, and Balor escapes and backs up into Vega, and Vega hits him with chops, then the same to Dominic, and all of them head to the back. And it's a reminder that this match is still going on, because this was like a 5-minute intermission here. It was the best type of intermission. Totally.
Like, it reminded me a whole lot of, like, I guess Sting and Hunter from Mania, when you had the NWO come in, you had DX come in, and they just kind of like, cleared the ring. This was that, but specifically for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and I failed to mention that Savio, his big spot too, was like he waved in, and you think the Los Barricos are coming out, but it's the LWO.
I did not think Los Barricos was coming out. Can we name Los Barricos?
Jesus, Jose, and Miguel Perez Jr. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure they all would have been available if they were.
I guess. I wonder what pop they would have received if they came out.
Dude, with this crowd, I'm sure they would have been chanting like, "You've still got it" at Los Barricos. But it's the LWO out. So this was great. Just so the great involvement of everybody. And then we go back to our regularly scheduled match, and it is Priest still selling this leg, and Bunny applies a big figure 4. And they're bringing up Ric Flair's history on the island, and then he's striking the injured knee while in the hole, but Priest finally breaks free. And then Priest runs into a chair in the corner, and Bad Bunny goes for a Shiranui, a sliced bread number 2. And dude, this was the scary. Anyone with any financial attachment to Bad Bunny and his career probably had a heart attack, because he nearly came down on his head. And this was the scariest spot he had of this whole match. And thankfully he was okay. He gets a 2 count off of this. And then he destroys Damian Priest with all of these chair shots before he hits the Canadian Destroyer to win the match in 25 minutes and 2 seconds. And I was wrong on my SmackDown preview, because the match of the show was not Brock and Cody. It was Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yes, it was. I'm in total agreement here. This was
awesome. This crowd was in this for the whole thing. Bad Bunny is, he's not the athlete that Logan Paul is, but this is a guy that totally gets what he is doing and is just such an awesome babyface. And in front of this crowd, like, dude, this felt like just the biggest star. And the fact that this guy is the level of celebrity that he is, this is one of the great affiliations WWE has had in
Yeah.
the history of this company. Like, you can certainly look at like the importance of a Mr. T and a Mike Tyson, but in terms of relevant celebrities at the absolute peak of their fame, for a guy that is willing to come in here and do this, this is amazing that they have this relationship and can do a show like this. And my only thought was at the end of this night, I 100% seeing the layout of the main event would have closed the show with this.
Yeah, again, I don't think it really matters a whole lot. By the end, like, people are going to remember what they'll remember, and for a lot of people, and maybe most people, it's going to be this particular match.
But there was definitely a come down for the first half of the 6-man. Like, this crowd was like, they did not come down for 25 minutes in this match.
Yeah. Again, like, I think historically it's not going to be that significant. You know, who main evented Backlash in Puerto Rico? Like, this is the match I think we'll all remember. But like you said, I think we have to really appreciate just how even something like this came together. You know, the booking of this event, and the fact that they had somebody who was such an international level celebrity like a Bad Bunny to be able to use as sort of like I guess the franchise, the poster child of this particular show, and the fact that he was willing to take himself out of his very busy touring schedule to train for this, to pull off a singles match that was 25 minutes in length. That is a gift. You know, that is a gift to this company. And for him, I mean, his chance to live out, I'm sure, a childhood dream. They were just incredibly lucky to be able to work this relationship together on a night where they were doing the show in Puerto Rico. And then everything else, you know, leading up to the match was really well set. It was just left to the performers and the layout to deliver, and boy, did they deliver. I thought Priest probably had the match of his life. You know, he did such a great job here. Great dominating presence throughout the match. Great selling of his leg throughout as a way to kind of justify how a Bad Bunny could possibly get a pinfall on him. Spots throughout the arena in the street fight I thought were satisfyingly big, and I thought the way that they had it framed so that Priest essentially lost through his hubris rather than Bad Bunny maybe dominating him, I thought was a good way out that protected him. But man, the moment those run-ins occurred was when, for me, it kind of hit a magical territory, because again, seeing the reverence that they gave to just I'm sure people
this was fan service for this audience. This was like, we are catering these for, like, I'm sure like a Carlito and a Savio would get like a nice pop if they showed up somewhere else, but nothing like that. Like, this was for this audience that saw them as legends as well.
And they had a good enough read on this audience to know that they would have given a Savio Vega a huge reaction, that they would have given a Carlito Colon a huge reaction. And the moment they came out, they didn't just they were almost treated like gods, and that's more than I could have said for my expectations for going into this match. Wonderful like tribute and wonderful booking for Puerto Rico that again felt infectious, even for me being up in Toronto, Canada. I felt like I was in the LWO.
Did they miss the boat not bringing Savio out as Quang?
Where was Quang billed from?
Not San Juan.
So next time they go to whatever mythical nation Quang is from, I'm sure we'll get a Quang appearance.
So the LWO returns and they celebrate with Vega and Carlito and Bad Bunny. So this is just a great whole presentation, the entire thing.
Quang is built from the Orient. So, next time they go to the Orient, maybe we'll see an Orient world order.
Yeah. What's the area code for the Orient? It's a very vague description of where he's from.
I'm not sure. We saw quite the kick. He definitely pulled some Quang out in some of those chops tonight.
Post Wrestling and Poison Rana, we are teaming up.
The Forbidden Pour, Post Wrestling and Poison Rana, the same day. If for anyone traveling in for Forbidden Door, we will be literally steps away from the Scotiabank Arena. It is right next door. It is attached to the arena. We're going to have a pre-party. John and Wei, you guys are going to do a podcast before the show, but it's afterwards that the after party is where things are really going to kick off, because we're going to do some wrestling karaoke.
A
And it's already been promised that a Mr. John Pollock is going to sing All In by Downstate.
Yeah, he agreed. It was in the contract. We've been throwing a few parties before, but nothing this big, nothing this huge. This is our double or nothing, really. And we're so excited. This is going to be a blast. If you're thinking about Forbidden Door weekend, now is your chance because tickets are available now, aren't they, Way?
Yes, they are right now. Postwrestling.com/live. I'm super excited.